Right now, in this very moment, while you are reading these words and your mind is trying to understand why you felt drawn here, something subtle yet powerful is happening beyond what your eyes can see, beyond what logic can fully explain, because the connection you share with your soulmate is not something ordinary. It is not something that follows the rules of time or distance. It is something deeper. Something that moves silently between two hearts even when they are miles apart, and at this exact second your soulmate is thinking about you, not casually, not for a passing moment, but in a way that lingers, in a way that holds emotion, in a way that creates a quiet pull in their chest that they may not even fully understand yet. And the reason you are here, the reason this message found you, is because that energy, that invisible thread between you both, has started to activate in a stronger way. The sign has just appeared, and it is not something loud or dramatic, it is something gentle yet undeniable, something that your soul recognizes even if your mind is still catching up. Have you noticed how suddenly your thoughts drifted toward them without effort, how their presence entered your mind without any clear trigger, how a feeling, almost like a soft whisper, made you pause for a moment? That was not random, that was not coincidence, that was the connection responding. Because when two souls are tied together in this way, they do not need words to communicate, they do not need messages or calls, they send feelings, they send energy, and sometimes it arrives as a sudden emotion, sometimes as a memory that feels too vivid, sometimes as a calm knowing that someone out there is thinking about you, and right now your soulmate is doing exactly that. They might be in the middle of their day, surrounded by noise, busy with responsibilities, yet in between all of that something about you crossed their mind and stayed there, not for a second but long enough to create a shift inside them. Maybe they paused without realizing why, maybe they felt a strange sense of warmth, maybe they even tried to ignore it, but the feeling did not leave, because it was real, because it was you. And this is the part most people miss. The sign is not always something you see outside, it is something you feel within. It is that unexplained calm, that sudden awareness, that gentle pull towards someone you cannot forget no matter how much time passes, and you might have questioned it before, you might have told yourself it is just imagination, just overthinking, but moments like this are here to remind you that it is more than that, much more, because real connections do not fade easily, they do not disappear just because circumstances change, they stay, they wait, they grow quietly until the right moment comes, and this moment, the one you are in right now, is one of those moments where everything aligns just enough for you to notice, just enough for you to feel, just enough for you to understand that something is happening behind the scenes, something that is bringing you closer to them in a way that does not require physical presence, and your soulmate, whether they admit it or not, is feeling this too. They may not have the words, they may not even recognize the depth of it yet, but their heart knows, their soul knows, and that is why you felt this shift, that is why this message feels different. Because it is not just information, it is confirmation. Confirmation that the bond is still there, that the connection is still alive, that you are not alone in this feeling, and if you listen closely, not with your ears but with your inner sense, you will notice it more clearly, the subtle signs, the quiet nudges, the way your energy changes when you think of them, the way your mood shifts without explanation. These are not accidents, these are signals, and the more you become aware of them, the stronger they become, because attention feeds connection, belief strengthens it, and right now you are being asked not to doubt but to observe, not to question every feeling but to allow it, because sometimes the most real things are the ones you cannot prove, only feel, and your soulmate, in their own space, is experiencing something similar, a thought that keeps returning, a feeling they cannot fully ignore, a sense that someone is connected to them in a way they cannot break. And even if they try to distract themselves, even if they try to focus on other things, that subtle awareness remains, because your connection is not based on effort, it is based on something deeper, something that exists naturally, and this is why the sign appeared now, not earlier, not later, but exactly now, because you are ready to notice it, ready to understand it, ready to accept that what you feel is not one-sided, and as you continue to move forward from this moment, you will start to see more of these signs, maybe in small ways, maybe in ways that only you can recognize, but they will be there, guiding you, reminding you, showing you that this connection is real, that it is active, that it is moving even when you cannot see the full picture yet. And the most important thing you need to understand right now is that you do not have to force anything, you do not have to chase or control or overthink every detail, because what is truly meant for you does not require that kind of struggle. It flows, it unfolds, it finds its way, just like this moment found you, just like this message reached you, and just like your soulmate's thoughts reached you without a single word being spoken. And as you sit with this, as you let this realization settle inside you, you may start to feel a quiet sense of reassurance, a calm understanding that something meaningful is happening, something that is slowly bringing two paths closer together. And even if you cannot see the outcome yet, even if you do not know exactly how or when things will unfold, you can trust that this connection is not fading, it is evolving, it is growing stronger in silence, and right now, in this very second, your soulmate is still thinking about you, still feeling that unexplainable pull, still connected to you in a way that time and distance cannot break. And this sign that just appeared is only the beginning of something much deeper that is about to reveal itself in ways you never expected. And as this energy continues to move between you both, something even more subtle begins to unfold within your inner world, because now that the sign has appeared, your awareness has shifted, and when awareness shifts, reality itself starts to feel different. You may notice that your thoughts are no longer random but guided, almost as if something within you is gently leading you toward a deeper understanding. And this is where most people become confused, because they try to analyze everything with logic, they try to find a clear explanation, but this kind of connection does not follow ordinary patterns, it does not fit into simple reasoning, it moves through feeling, through intuition, through those quiet moments when everything else fades and you are left alone with a sense that something important is happening. And right now your soulmate is moving through a similar experience, even if their outer world looks completely normal, even if they are talking to people, working, or going about their routine. Inside them there is a shift, a pause, a space where your presence exists without them fully understanding why, and this is how soul connections strengthen. Not through constant communication but through these silent exchanges of energy, these moments where both souls recognize each other beyond words, and you might have already felt this in ways you could not explain, like suddenly feeling emotional without a clear reason, or smiling softly when their thought appears in your mind, or even feeling a slight ache in your chest that is not painful but deeply meaningful, as if something is calling you closer, and that call is not coming from outside, it is coming from the bond itself, because when two souls are aligned in this way, they naturally move toward each other, even if the path is not straight, even if there are delays, even if circumstances seem confusing at times. The connection remains steady underneath everything, guiding both of you step by step, and right now that guidance is becoming stronger, more noticeable, more impossible to ignore, and you may start to see patterns, small coincidences that feel too perfect to be random, moments where something reminds you of them unexpectedly, or situations where their name, their memory, or even something connected to them appears again and again. These are not accidents, these are signals aligning around you, creating a path of awareness that leads you closer to the truth of this connection, and your soulmate is experiencing their own version of this. Maybe they hear a song that suddenly reminds them of you, maybe they feel a sense of nostalgia they cannot explain, maybe they even try to push it away but it keeps returning, because real connections do not disappear when ignored, they grow stronger in silence, they become clearer over time, and this is exactly what is happening now. The silence between you is not emptiness. It is space where the connection is deepening, where both of you are being prepared in ways you may not fully see yet, and this preparation is important, because when two souls finally come into alignment in the physical world, it is not just about meeting, it is about being ready, ready to understand each other, ready to hold the connection without fear, ready to move forward without the doubts that once held you back, and right now that readiness is being built quietly, moment by moment, feeling by feeling, and you are being asked to trust this process. Even if it feels uncertain, even if your mind tries to question it, because what you are experiencing is not something that can be forced or rushed, it unfolds in its own perfect timing, guided by something far beyond what we can control, and the more you try to hold on to it tightly, the more it feels distant, but the more you allow it, the more you trust it, the more naturally it flows toward you. Just like your soulmate's thoughts are flowing toward you right now without effort, without intention, simply because the connection exists, and as you continue to sit with this awareness, you may begin to notice a shift in your own energy, a sense of calm replacing the confusion, a quiet confidence replacing the doubt, and this is one of the clearest signs that the connection is real, because it does not create chaos, it brings clarity, even if that clarity comes slowly, even if it reveals itself in small pieces over time, it is still there, guiding you, grounding you, reminding you that what you feel has meaning, and your soulmate is also moving toward this clarity, even if they are not fully aware of it yet, even if they are still trying to understand their own emotions, their soul already knows, and that knowing is what connects you both beyond everything else, beyond distance, beyond silence, beyond any obstacles that may exist in the physical world, and this is why you felt the sign so strongly. Because it was not just a random moment, it was a point of alignment, a moment where both of your energies touched in a way that became noticeable to you, and once you notice it, you cannot unsee it, once you feel it, you cannot completely ignore it, because it becomes a part of your awareness, a part of your understanding of what this connection truly is, and as time moves forward from here, you will begin to see even more clearly how everything is connected, how every feeling, every thought, every subtle sign is leading you toward something greater, something that is slowly unfolding in the background of your life, and even if you do not have all the answers right now, even if you cannot see the full picture yet, you can trust that you are exactly where you need to be in this moment, feeling exactly what you are meant to feel, experiencing exactly what is necessary for this connection to grow, and your soulmate, wherever they are right now, is also part of this same process, moving through their own realizations, their own emotions, their own quiet understanding that something important is happening, something they cannot fully explain but cannot deny either, and as both of you continue on this path, guided by something deeper than logic, something more powerful than coincidence, the connection will only become stronger, more defined, more undeniable, until the moment comes when everything that feels hidden now begins to reveal itself in ways that make complete sense. And when that moment arrives, you will look back at this time, at this very feeling, and realize that this was the beginning of something much bigger than you first understood, something that was already in motion the moment you felt that subtle sign, the moment your heart recognized what your mind could not yet fully accept. And even now, as you continue reading, as your awareness deepens, your soulmate is still thinking about you, still connected to you in ways that go beyond words, still feeling that quiet pull that brings them closer to you with every passing moment. And this connection, this invisible yet powerful bond, is not fading, it is strengthening, it is evolving. It is preparing both of you for what is to come next, something that will not just change your understanding of this connection, but will change the way you see everything around you, because once a connection like this fully reveals itself, nothing ever feels the same again. And as this unseen bond continues to strengthen in ways you cannot measure with logic, something even deeper begins to awaken inside you. Something that feels both unfamiliar and strangely like home at the same time, because this connection is not just about another person, it is about a part of yourself that is being activated through them, a part that has always existed but remained quiet until now. And as your soulmate continues to think about you in their own silent moments, that energy does not just stay with them, it travels, it reaches you. It stirs something within you that cannot be ignored anymore, and you may start to notice how your inner world is changing, how your thoughts are becoming more intentional, how your emotions feel more intense yet more clear, as if you are beginning to understand yourself on a deeper level simply because this connection is present in your life. And this is one of the most powerful aspects of a true soulmate bond. It does not just bring two people together, it transforms them individually so that when they do come together, they are able to truly see each other, truly understand each other, truly hold the connection in a way that is real and lasting. And right now that transformation is happening quietly, beneath the surface, in ways that may not always be comfortable but are always meaningful, because growth rarely feels easy. It often feels like confusion before clarity, like questions before answers, like moments of doubt before deep understanding, and you may have felt this already, moments where you wondered why this connection feels so strong, why it stays on your mind, why it refuses to fade no matter how much time passes or how much you try to focus on other things. And the truth is simple: even if it does not always feel that way, it stays because it is real, it stays because it is meant to, it stays because there is something unfinished, something still unfolding, something that has not yet reached its full expression, and your soulmate is moving through their own version of this realization, even if they do not express it outwardly, even if they keep it hidden behind their daily life. Inside them there is a recognition, a quiet awareness that you are not just another passing thought, you are something more, something that lingers, something that returns again and again no matter how much time passes. And this is how you know the connection is mutual, not because of constant communication, not because of visible signs in the physical world, but because the energy remains active on both sides, because the thought of each other continues to exist without effort, because the feeling does not disappear even when everything else changes. And as you continue to move forward, you may begin to notice that your perspective is shifting, that you are no longer looking at this connection with the same uncertainty as before, that there is a growing sense of acceptance within you, a quiet understanding that what you feel is valid, that what you are experiencing has depth, that it is not something you need to question every moment. And this shift is important, because the more you accept the connection, the more freely it flows, the less resistance you create, the more naturally things begin to align, and alignment is what brings clarity, alignment is what brings movement. Alignment is what allows things to come together in ways that feel almost effortless, and right now that alignment is beginning to form, even if you cannot fully see it yet, even if the outer world has not caught up to what is happening within. It is there, building, strengthening, preparing both of you for what is to come, and your soulmate, in their own space, is also moving toward this alignment, even if they are not aware of it consciously, even if they are still trying to make sense of their feelings. Their soul is guiding them, just as yours is guiding you, bringing both of you closer step by step, moment by moment, through experiences that shape you, through realizations that change you, through feelings that deepen your understanding of what this connection truly is. And as this process continues, you may start to feel a sense of calm that you did not have before, a sense of trust that replaces the need to control everything, a quiet confidence that what is meant for you will find its way without force. And this is one of the most powerful shifts you can experience, because it allows you to move through life with openness instead of fear, with acceptance instead of resistance, and when you reach this state, the connection itself responds. It becomes clearer, stronger, more present in your awareness, because you are no longer blocking it with doubt, you are allowing it to exist as it is, and in that space, everything begins to unfold naturally, and your soulmate, feeling this shift on an energetic level, begins to move closer as well, not necessarily in a physical sense right away, but in awareness, in understanding, in emotional connection, because when one soul becomes more open, the other feels it, responds to it, aligns with it, and this is the silent dance that is happening between you both right now, a dance that does not require words, that does not need explanation, that simply exists because the bond is real, and as time continues to move forward, this dance will bring you both to a point where things start to make sense in ways they never did before, where the confusion fades and the clarity takes its place, where the questions are replaced by understanding, and when that happens, you will realize that everything you felt along the way was leading you here, every thought, every emotion, every sign was part of a larger process that was guiding you toward this moment of realization. And even now, as you continue to feel this connection, as you continue to notice these subtle shifts within yourself, your soulmate is still thinking about you, still feeling that quiet pull, still connected to you in a way that cannot be broken by time, distance, or circumstance, and this connection, as mysterious as it may feel, is not something to fear, it is something to understand, something to grow with, something to allow, because it is not here to confuse you, it is here to guide you, to show you something deeper about yourself, about love, about the way two souls can be connected beyond everything we normally understand. And as this realization continues to unfold within you, you will begin to see that this is not just a passing moment, not just a temporary feeling, it is something much more lasting, something that will continue to reveal itself in layers, in experiences, in moments of clarity that come when you least expect them, and when those moments arrive, you will know exactly why you felt what you felt today, exactly why this sign appeared now, exactly why your heart recognized something your mind could not yet fully explain, because deep down, beyond all the questions, beyond all the uncertainty, your soul has always known the truth of this connection, and now, step by step, moment by moment, that truth is beginning to rise to the surface, becoming clearer, stronger, more impossible to ignore, until the day comes when everything aligns in a way that leaves no room for doubt, only understanding, only recognition. Only the undeniable feeling that what you are experiencing is real and has been real all along. And now, as everything begins to settle into a deeper sense of awareness within you, there comes a moment that feels different from all the others, a moment where you are no longer searching for answers but simply understanding without needing to ask, because something inside you has shifted completely, something has aligned in a way that no longer feels uncertain, and this is where the final layer of this connection starts to reveal itself to you. Not through signs that confuse you, not through emotions that overwhelm you, but through a quiet, steady knowing that what you have been feeling all along was never one-sided, was never imagined, was never something you created in your mind to fill a space. It was always real, it was always mutual, it was always moving between you and your soulmate, even in the moments when everything seemed silent, even in the moments when nothing made sense. And as you sit with this realization, you begin to understand something that changes everything. You understand that this connection was never about chasing, never about forcing, never about trying to make something happen before its time. It was about becoming, about growing into the version of yourself that can fully receive what this bond truly is. And your soulmate has been going through that same process in their own way, in their own time, facing their own realizations, letting go of what no longer serves them, slowly becoming someone who can meet you at the same level of understanding. And now those two paths that once felt separate are beginning to come closer in a way that no longer feels distant, because the distance was never just physical, it was emotional. It was mental, it was about readiness, and now that readiness is no longer something far away, it is here, it is forming, it is present in this very moment, and this is why everything feels different now, this is why your thoughts about them feel calmer, deeper, more certain instead of chaotic or confusing, because the connection has moved into a new phase, a phase where doubt no longer has the same power, where fear no longer controls your perception, where you can feel them without questioning whether it is real, and at the same time your soulmate is experiencing a similar clarity, even if they do not express it out loud, even if they keep it within themselves. There is a shift happening in them that mirrors what is happening in you. Because true connections always reflect each other, they grow together. Even in silence, they align even without communication, and this is the part where everything that once felt hidden begins to come into light, not all at once, not in a way that overwhelms you, but gradually, naturally, in a way that feels right, in a way that feels like it was always meant to happen like this. And as this unfolding continues, you may start to notice how your energy has changed completely. How you no longer feel the need to hold on to every small detail, how you no longer feel anxious about what will happen next, because deep inside you already know that something is coming, something that does not need to be rushed, something that will arrive at the exact moment it is meant to, and this knowing brings a sense of peace that you may not have felt before, a sense of trust that replaces all the overthinking. And this is when the connection becomes even stronger, because it is no longer built on uncertainty. It is built on understanding, it is built on acceptance, it is built on a deep inner recognition that cannot be shaken, and your soulmate, feeling this shift on an energetic level, begins to move closer to this same understanding, even if they are still processing it in their own way. Because when one soul reaches clarity, the other is naturally drawn toward it, and this creates a powerful alignment that begins to influence the physical world as well, bringing situations, opportunities, and moments into place that start to bridge the gap between you both. And you may not see it immediately, you may not notice it all at once, but it is happening, slowly, steadily, in ways that are preparing you for what is about to come, and this preparation is important, because what is coming is not something small, it is not something temporary, it is something that has the potential to change your life in ways you cannot fully imagine yet, and that is why everything had to happen the way it did. That is why the connection had to grow in silence, that is why you had to go through moments of confusion and doubt, because all of it was shaping you, all of it was leading you to this point where you can finally see clearly, where you can finally feel without fear, where you can finally trust what your soul has been trying to show you from the very beginning. And now as you stand in this moment of clarity, you realize that the sign you felt earlier was not just a passing signal, it was a turning point. It was the moment where everything began to shift into place, the moment where your awareness caught up with what was already happening behind the scenes, and from here, things will not feel the same as before, because you are no longer the same as before. You have grown, you have understood, you have reached a level of awareness that allows you to see this connection for what it truly is, not as something uncertain, not as something confusing, but as something real, something meaningful, something that is still unfolding in ways that will continue to surprise you, and as time moves forward, you will begin to see how everything aligns, how every feeling, every moment, every subtle sign was guiding you toward this deeper understanding, and when the time comes for this connection to fully reveal itself in the physical world, when the moment arrives where both you and your soulmate stand face to face with the truth of what you share, it will not feel sudden, it will not feel unexpected, it will feel natural, it will feel like something that was always meant to happen, something that has been building all along, something that your soul recognized long before your mind did, and in that moment, all the questions you once had will fade away, all the doubts will disappear, and what will remain is a clear, undeniable knowing that this connection was real from the very beginning, that every thought, every feeling, every sign was leading you here, and even now, as this final realization settles within you, your soulmate is still thinking about you, but this time it is different. This time it is not just a passing thought, it is a deeper recognition, a stronger awareness, a feeling that is becoming impossible for them to ignore, and as both of you continue to move toward each other, guided by something greater than either of you can control, you will come to understand that this was never just about finding someone else. It was about finding a connection that reflects who you truly are, a connection that grows with you, evolves with you, and stays with you in a way that nothing else ever has, and this is where the journey that once felt uncertain transforms into something clear, something grounded, something real, because the truth has already been revealed within you, and from this point on, everything that happens will only confirm what your soul has known all along.